Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Be Entertained. Okay, so I just want to take a moment to personally thank everybody who has been watching the videos, commenting, and who has been supporting the channel by subscribing. We're actually really close to that 1,000 subscriber mark, which is actually, once we do hit it, it's going to be pretty cool because we're going to be able to go back and forth in the comments. I'm sorry, in the comments, in the chat room compared to the comments, which I don't mind replying, but it's going to be a lot easier, of course, in the chat room. But again, if you haven't subscribed yet, I would be truly honored if you can. And also, this way you don't miss out on future videos. And but until then, I'll see you in the comments. And of course, enjoy this video.
Here's mine.
Well, just think about how you approached me with it. You said, I gotta talk to you. Of course, we have to see Dr. Laurel. We gotta see her separately. You were looking for me to go since you saw her last time by yourself. You called Nathan, and he told you that this week doesn't look good.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's so much shit going on as it is.
Yeah, well, I connected Laurel and Nathan so that he could plan it for you, or he could schedule you. And then when I got that text from him today saying it would have to be next week, I guess, I said to you, can we talk about this, because it's twofold. One, I have to plan to go see her too, so it does.
Well, that's never going to conflict because whenever you...
Well, it does because here's why it does. It's a marriage, she's a marriage counselor, and if I'm going to see her by myself only, it's completely pointless and redundant.
Why?
That's because she's not my counselor. The client is the marriage, right? So it does no good for me to be the only one that goes, if that's what it's going to turn out to be. And because I have been the last one to go several times by myself, I think I've seen her now 2 or 3 times.
Have you really? By yourself?
Yeah, probably maybe 2 times. And then I called her. So yeah, like 3 times if you count the phone. We had like a proper phone thing. And if I'm the only one that continues to do that, then it is redundant. You know what I mean? It's kind of pointless since the client is the marriage. It can't just be me. That's why I said it affects me.
So you mean if you continue to do it and I don't do it, that's redundant? Because she's a marriage counselor. Is that what you're saying? The client is the marriage. You just said that if you keep doing it, it's redundant.
Yeah, like there's no point in there's no point in only one person going to a marriage counselor.
Exactly. So you're already saying right there in that, you've written it off in your head that I won't do it.
No.
So then why would you say just you doing it is redundant? That's implying that only one person is going to see this lady.
No, I'm explaining why it's redundant for only one person to see this lady.
But I never talked about one person only seeing this lady.
I know.
Then why are we talking about it? Because why are we talking about that?
I don't know. You seem to be. We're talking about it. I guess because you seem to be upset that I asked you if you were going to make this a priority. Because I know your schedule is busy, but if
no, you didn't ask me if I was going to make this a priority. You said, "Is this a priority?"
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Is this a priority?
I'm not quite sure how those are different, but I'm sorry you see that one is.
Well, they're very different things.
Okay, I'm sorry that I said.
Don't get wound up.
I'm not wound up. I'm absolutely not wound up at all.
Okay.
Am I yelling at you or calling you names or?
No. I can hear your voice change.
Yeah, I have expressions and feelings, but I am not upset or attacking you.
I didn't say you were. I just said don't get wound up. That's all.
I'm not wound up.
Okay. Well, listen. All I'm saying is, You asked if it was a priority to
Yeah.
me. I said it was. And you said, okay, then we have to you gotta get this, you gotta do the appointments, you gotta make this work, you gotta, whatever. You gotta take the time, your whole day is not taken up by these other things. When in fact, there is a large amount of my day taken up by these various things that are going on within the next week or so.
No doubt. Yeah, I know. And I know you're busy.
And
I
so,
do. That's why I
I-
asked if you were going to make it a priority in that sense that
you
I
didn't
know you
ask
have
if I
other-
was gonna make it a priority. You asked if it was a priority.
Okay,
me.
I guess what I'm saying is, in me saying if it is a priority, what I'm asking you or saying in that is, will you make this a priority in your day? By me saying, is it a priority? That's what I'm asking. So
If it's a priority, Amber, I don't need to make it a priority.
You-
It is a priority, and I'm going to try and work out a time when I can go see the woman.
Okay.
It's difficult to pin down, and I can't give you a date this
I
very
wasn't
second.
expecting a
and
date.
that's what this is all about.
No, it's not.
Well, that's how. That's what.
You got
that's,
upset that I asked you this question, and I have been trying to understand why. Because I'm just trying to understand. Remember, that's why we started talking. I said, I feel like you're getting upset because maybe, oh, yeah, you think I'm saying you fucked up. I was trying to understand why you were upset by that question. That's all.
what I was saying, that
You
whole
were the
thing.
one who was upset.
I
not
don't.
me.
I don't feel like it was. I don't feel like it's pre. Like. Well, I guess it is prejudgment, only in the sense that it exists within you already. It's not something that just happens, I miss an appointment or something, and you go, well, of course he fucking did. That kind of deal, It was expected,
Okay.
So it's expected,
Okay.
I guess.
Okay.
So let's forget the prejudgment or whatever. It's just expected that, if you just leave it to me, I won't get it done. Therefore, you feel you have to take it
Did I
into
say
your
that?
hands. No, but that's kind of what it is.
I'm sorry you felt that way. I am. That sucks to feel.
Well, just understand, if you want to know really if this is a priority for me, then why don't you just sit back and let me do what I do, and you see if I take care of it. If I don't take care
will.
of it, then you got your answer.
I will absolutely do just that because I don't have any other choice but to do just that. But that still doesn't mean I can't ask my husband if you're going to make something a priority that I have made myself and that you have promised to make, and that knowing you're busy and that you juggle a lot of things and your focus has to be on so many different things. I can ask you. I have every right to ask you, my husband, if you're going to make something a priority without it becoming a 45-minute fight about semantics and inferences and judgments.
Semantics. If this is semantics, baby, then our entire existence is going to be a fucking
I would love
just
to
a
get
back and
into
forth.
the existential kind of or fatalistic conversation with you, but I don't feel like it's helpful.
I'm not existentialist about it. I'm not fatalistic about it. I'm being realistic, and I'm being as honest as I can.
Okay.
I'm being as honest as I know how to be. And that is to say that it is a priority to me. As I said when you asked if it was a priority, I will make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
Which means, I suppose, I will make the priority a priority.
Okay.
And then,
That's all I asked.
and
But I have been talking to you about it since. In a way that has been trying to diffuse how upset you got about that question.
How upset? I didn't get upset.
You got really defensive and kind of aggressive with me.
No. When?
Okay.
When you asked me if it was a priority?
Okay, well, that maybe I should have said that's how I felt. And
I know how you feel.
Okay, so I feel like that, and I also feel like I can't be expected to be in nor would you want me to be in a relationship that somehow is, like a major offense. Beautiful watch, by the way.
Okay.
Like that's somehow a major offense because I asked you if it's a priority.
It's not. It's
You're
not.
not a tyrant, It's not like I can't. I want to feel like I don't have to walk on eggshells, and I can have the freedom to, that we can have the freedom to like say normal things to one another. Like, hey, I care about this thing that you promised me. Are you going to do it? Even though that might be, even at best, or at worst, annoying to you, that's got to be okay without it becoming this. And I've been trying to diffuse it since it started by trying to understand what made you so upset. It's one of the first things I said in this conversation is, I'm going to try really hard to understand why you're so... I said, I understand why... I'm trying to understand why you're upset. If it's simply because I asked you if you're going to, do this thing, and you felt as though that was prejudging you, then there's got to be a better way for you to tell me how you feel.
But don't you think it is?
Pardon?
Don't you think it is prejudging?
No, I think prejudging would be not to bother asking, but that's my honest answer. I think it says a lot that I thought I could ask you. I'm giving you...
I'm not saying you can't ask me. I'm
right?
I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying
Your
it's
actions have told me that, though. It's been a 45-minute talk that I think neither one of us can wait to get out of. And it shouldn't be like that, just to... Even if it had annoyed you for some reason, it shouldn't become this.
If Nathan tells you that this week is going to be difficult,
Mm-hmm.
and that upsets you,
It didn't upset me at all. It did not upset me at all.
Didn't?
Not at all. I was...
then why
I
were you saying that
I just
next
had
week's not good or okay?
I had a conversation with you in the same tone, if not lighter, than I am now. How could you say it upset me? I gave you zero indication to feel like it upset me. I said explicitly and implicitly both that I wasn't upset, that I was attempting to have a conversation with you because I understood you were busy and handling a lot of things.
And you wanted to know when I could see the lady.
I didn't say when. I was not expecting you to know your schedule at all, nor would I ever.
Mike, that's why I said yes. I said to you, I got to look at the schedule. I got to look at.
That's what you said, but I
Yeah.
certainly didn't ask you for a time or any sort of indication of when you would go. I asked if it was a priority. It was a broader question.
Right, and I
not a
answered the
specific-
question.
Okay, but you just said I was asking you for when you were going to go, and I'm clarifying that I did not.
Okay.
Because the foolish thing, that's part of why I asked you if it was a priority, is because I know you're dealing with a lot. I would never expect you to know your own schedule.
Yeah. No, I don't. Beatles. I told you. I told. Okay.
I'm sorry you felt judged by that question, but I wasn't. You
No,
were
don't-
very sensitive to me.
I'm a very sensitive fucking person. I don't know what to say.
but
man.
you've got really thin skin about maybe me thinking you're a fuck up. I didn't even have to say you were or that I thought that for you to feel that way.
No, you
and
don't.
I hope one day you can give me a little bit more credit, or maybe assume I have less of a problem, as you said. This is about me having a problem, not you. Even though I didn't say you had one.
No, I think the only
you should
problem is
probably-
that there is a prejudgment. There doesn't exist. You just automatically. It's automatic. It's built in.
Okay, well,
You know,
I'm
you
sorry
think,
that
you think that I won't remember or I'll fuck it up or something like that. And that's
I didn't say that you would fuck it up, but the irony here that you miss is that you're making that judgment on me. That's what I think is amazing that you miss every time, is the irony that you're so sensitive to judgment yourself or being told you fucked up when you then in the same sentence as I pointed out earlier, we'll turn that around and make a judgment on someone else.
Okay. Well,
Well, which is what you're doing when you say it's my problem, even though
well, I
don't-
guess our feelings are based on experience. Mine are based on experience. Yours are based on experience.
Mhm.
So, did you talk to Nathan?
No, I just had put him in email contact with Laurel.
So you didn't talk to him after he said
Mm,
we can't,
No,
the dates aren't good, or
no.
nothing?
Just, no, I didn't.
What did you
Let me see. Yeah, no.
No? Okay. Well, let me take care of it. I'll talk with Nathan. I'll talk with Dr. Laurel or whatever. I'll figure it out. Figure out when I can get there. I'll get there for sure. Okay?
All right, that's all I'm saying.
It's beautiful.
Leave soon. I gotta,
And when I look at them now, you know,
I gotta meet with Christy
my brother was so
and,
young. I remember he had cut
probably
his hair,
doctors.
I think probably to please Karina's parents.
bet
Her
he should.
family were. Newly married at the
But I need to
tender
talk to
age
Christy
of
about,
21,
obviously,
Karina left her family
um,
and all that was familiar behind.
what the fuck
and
is gonna
started a new
happen,
life with her new husband.
Sorry.
I really respected the choice that she made to come up here, leave all her family.
Nathan
come
said
to
your
the
meeting was
country,
canceled today, too. I don't know if you
and
knew
don't
that.
speak the language.
Oh, yeah,
not
there was
the
a-
How did she adjust to life here in the States?
what was it about? Happy. It was about the
completely different. She
happy.
was nervous and like a stranger in a strange land.
While going to school to learn English, the newlywed was completely dependent on her husband. And so he helped her a lot and kind of guided her at the beginning. Karina devoted herself to learning everything she could about life in America. And she was particularly devoted to building her life with David.
Karina really wanted to be a mother. It was something that she knew almost her whole life. She wanted to be a mom, and she was really good at it.
In 1996, they had their first child, a son. A few years later, their daughter was born. As the couple was starting their family, David was also starting his career. He took a job as a language teacher at the University of California, San Diego.
And I'll see you later tonight.
Financially,
Okay.
just
You
kinda
taking off?
starting off, it was a little bit
Yeah,
of a
I
struggle.
was,
They had a lot of
I was
money, but
gonna
they had, enough to
just
pay the bills and,
hanging out
food
with
and
you
everything.
until
It seemed Karina was actually living the life she had always dreamed of as a little girl in Mexico. From the perfect husband, they had great plans for this place, to the perfect home that David spent years saving up for. She wanted this house. She wanted this house, and David, you know, made every effort to get this
I
house
was
for them, and
hanging
they
out.
did. They were just the ideal
I
family.
was hanging out, and you said that you were gonna read and
thought
stuff, so I
so,
was-
and
I
just,
put-
you know,
I mean,
thought what a wonderful family.
Yeah,
I
no.
can't move some things
deceiving,
around.
as revealed
I'm
in
gonna see
Karina's
if I can
letters
just
to her mother.
do them now because
Sometimes I
didn't
don't
know
know
you were
why
leaving.
I married him.
I'm not leaving right
wrote
this
Karina.
second, but
I'm in despair.
I would put some makeup on the hickey.
thanks.
What's wrong?
Nothing. If you want that,
As Karina Ditto was fighting for her life,
I'll wait.
It's just a little
Ditto
gift.
was
I'll wait for you.
described to first
Why?
responders in events leading
I mean,
up to
I don't have any,
immediately after his wife's
sorry.
horrifying accident.
I don't have anything
Earlier
like
that evening, the kids went to bed.
huge.
Then Karina and David settled in for the night
But
to
you have a
watch
whole stack
Braveheart,
of them,
one
and
of
they kind of
Karina's
make me sad
favorites.
seeing them downstairs. It just
Got
feels really
snacks
like
and candy
shitty
and
to
chips
me
and
as a
drinks and
human.
stuff.
feels like really
And we were watching a movie.
Well, we haven't had a moment where either one of us has said, "Hey, why don't we do this?"
I'm just telling you how I feel. I
know.
hope you don't feel judged.
Karina
Sorry if you
went
do.
upstairs. David returned to the living room.
I was just
What
telling you how I
happened
feel.
next was simply unthinkable.
I heard.
I know, but if that's how you feel, why don't you say, "Hey, let's sit down and open these things"?
I tried. You didn't.
Really
You did when?
Bang, bang,
Like
bang,
this
bang,
morning,
coming
I did a couple
downstairs.
days ago.
And like jumped
It's
up
okay.
and ran over and
You're right. We haven't really had a lot of time.
laying at the foot of the stairs. And
That's
she
kind of
wasn't
why I brought
moving,
that
wasn't
upstairs.
talking.
David says he grabbed Karina
I mean,
and
that's
pulled her
kinda
away from the stairs.
why I,
Kneeling by her side, he shook her. When she didn't respond,
That's why I
began CPR.
brought that upstairs because I thought we had a
Karina
moment. We
started
had a
moving.
moment, you know.
She was grabbing
I
on her, trying to
thought
pull
we
herself up, and I was
would
holding
too.
her up.
It's just,
And And then she just stopped moving. She just kind of collapsed and was
Got onto the
laying
road
there
it wants to be on, I
lifeless
suppose.
in
I
my
don't know.
arms, and I didn't know what to do.
I'll open
I
it.
laid her back
I'll
down,
open it with you.
and
Open it with you
remember
later.
if I started doing CPR again or not, but I realized that I just didn't know what was happening to her.
And that is when David made that 911 call.
My wife heard something I'm going to say. Can you bring an ambulance? Okay. Are you with your wife right now? I need to get her. I need to get her.
It was just after
wanna-
midnight.
let
First
me know if I can do
responder Lisa
anything
Challenger was
or
on
to
duty.
help.
We were expecting to see a fall. We were
With
definitely not
Betty
expecting
soon,
to see a cardiac
and I'm
arrest.
sorry you're dealing with that.
Karina's
I'm here
heart
for you if
had
you need
stopped,
it.
and she was covered in her own blood from a gash to the back of her head. The amount of blood surprised the experienced
I'm gonna go.
paramedic, but it was the location of Karina's body
Try
that
and
immediately made her suspicious.
The
I'm gonna
stairway was
see if I
here,
can still do my
and
meeting. I
the
probably
patient was over
be
here,
able
so
to,
you
but,
don't fall down the
Why
stairway
do
and
it
then
now?
bounce around the corner.
Late.
From the blood pattern around Karina
Because
to these
if you're leaving,
scratches
then
on
that
David's
was the
face.
only reason I
He
stayed.
said that
home.
when he was doing
Because
CPR
we
at one point, she had
were
come back
so-
too, and then he got the scratches on his face from that.
Lisa felt the
Get it
scene
done.
actually suggested
Well, I
that
probably-
it had
I don't
been
know if I
an
can.
intense
I have to
struggle,
email them.
and that David's story didn't add up.
She had so much blood on her face that if he had put his mouth over her mouth, he would have had her blood on his face.
Given their concerns about David's behavior and the suspicious nature of the
I don't want
scene,
to walk away
first
for saying
responders
something.
called the
Oh,
police.
no, I'm okay.
But
Sorry.
here at the house that night, David repeatedly told them Karina's injuries were the result of a fall down the stairs. So
Thank you for
police
breakfast.
allowed him to leave the scene to be at his wife's side at the hospital. What the cops didn't know at the time is that over the years, there had been problems in the Ditto's marriage. When you fought, would it get verbally abusive?
There's only one time that I can recall, and it was, more than 10 years ago. Karina and I were arguing about something, and she was really upset, and she asked, I just want to know one thing. I want to know if I make you sick, or if I'm sickening to you. And I just said yes.
One of the few people who knew about the problems in David and Karina's relationship was Karina's mother. He wants to tell me what spoons I should use when it's time to eat. He wants to tell me how much water I should use to water the plants. He punishes me with money. He takes it away for months. Karina confided in letters to her mother that David had become impossible to live with and that she wanted to leave. There's times that I don't even want to speak to him. I don't want him to touch me. I have to tell him that sometimes I can't stand the situation.
Would she have described you as controlling of her?
I don't think so. She had freedom to, do the things that she wanted to.
Were you strict with her about what she spent and where she spent it?
We were on a tight budget at times, and I managed the finances. So we didn't have a lot of money sometimes to spend on clothes or, going out to eat and things like that.
Did you make her pay you back for diapers and other goods for the kids?
I don't think so. I honestly don't.
Own eyes, the
Klein?
Yes.
But if there was a violent struggle that night,
Ever able to find
Violence.
violence?
There was no violence.
These are not words that you associate with yourself.
Absolutely not.
even the one person who knew Karina best had her doubts.
Karina's mother, Sylvia, believed David's story at first, until she returned here to La Paz and began to think about all those letters from Karina and all those bruises on her daughter's body. Eventually, and somewhat reluctantly, Sylvia had a change of heart about her son-in-law.
Why did he have the heart to cause a person so much harm? He could have returned her to me or divorced her, but not kill her.
Those letters may have,
Yes.
but no one other than David knows for sure what really happened.
Scratch, because that's
Technically correct about it was that her injuries were consistent.
Talk to us, call us. And it just didn't seem.
Control issues right now, and that you're the person I'm speaking to now. That's why I'm telling you how what you're saying makes me feel. You of all people have such a sensitivity to that. You don't want to feel judged.
No, judged.
No,
It's
no
about
one does,
prejudged.
but you don't want to be. What I'm trying to say is that you have such a sensitivity to being judged that I think you of all people should know how terrible it makes me feel when you judge me and call me a control freak or say I have issues.
I didn't call you control freak. I said you have control issues.
Okay.
You want to control things. You want to control everything. This is not new information for you, Amber.
So this
Come on.
is something, I just want to point out that you you have a real problem with being called names or being judged. So you of all people should know how terrible it makes me feel how you're doing that to me right now.
Talk to anyone, Amber. Come on.
I do. I speak to a lot of people. You're the only one telling me that I have control issues right now, and that you're the person I'm speaking to now. That's why I'm telling you how what you're saying makes me feel. Other people aren't helping me.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry that it makes you feel.
You don't like being judged, and you're asking me not to judge you. I mean, with the thinnest skin, most sensitivity of anybody I've ever met in my whole life. And yet, you sit here and hurl judgments towards me about my issues because I asked you if you were going to make this a priority.
You have control issues, Amber.
Again, you're just repeating the thing that I'm telling you
But
is
you
making
do
me...
know that. You are aware of
Again,
that.
you're repeating the thing that I'm telling you is making me feel bad. So you repeating it...
It's not news to you. You're not going to pretend like this has never come up in your life
You're just
before.
reiterating the thing that I'm telling... I'm not arguing with you, am I? I'm telling you what you're saying to me is bad. It makes me feel bad, and you of all people...
Okay, what you're saying to me feels bad.
What, by telling you that you're hurting me? No doubt.
Earlier.
That's all I'm telling... All I asked you is if you're going to make it a priority, and that is giving you full license to sit here and hurl insults at me?
You didn't ask me if I was going to make it a priority.
I did.
You asked me if it was a priority.
Yes, that's asking you if you're going to make it.
To me.
That's
No,
exactly...
not if you're going to make it one.
How are they different? Exactly.
If you have a priority, you have a priority. If you have a priority, you don't have to make it a priority. Because it's a priority already. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's the department, the redundancy department.
Thank you so much for clarifying.
Wow, just thought you should, that's what you asked, isn't it?
Okay, yeah, thank you. Now that really clears it up.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry to upset you by saying that that you have a control issue, but you do, and
Okay.
it really fucks with me at times, and I don't want I most of the time go along with your thing just so that nobody's hassled and there's no weirdness, but sometimes I just can't. I can't do every single thing you want me to do at the exact time you want me to do it, and let you know when it's done, and I just can't. It's just exhausting, Amber.
I'm really sorry I put you through that. I didn't realize that's what I was doing today by asking you if it was a priority.
No, this is not
But
just
I'm still
today.
really
It's
sorry.
what you do sometimes.
Okay, well, I'm sorry that you go through that. It must feel really terrible. I'm gonna leave now because it feels really it feels really terrible. It feels really terrible to talk to you recently. A lot, and I don't think I deserved it today. I don't think I did anything wrong, but I'm still sorry, and I'm gonna leave now, and I think it would be best if I just had some space, and I'll let you have your own space too. But I feel really terrible talking to you like that. Shouldn't be. And if you have anger issues about me and that have accrued over the years that are coming out, sorry. But I don't think I deserve this. And you insulting me when I'm telling you repeatedly, it hurts me what you're saying. And then that you feel the impulse to just repeat it over and over. It's really sad. Shows me who you are. And you don't like being judged, and you're very sensitive to it. So you, of all people, should know how terrible you made me feel today.
Sorry.
Sherry Rasmussen had happened upon two men as they were trying to burglarize the house, and that they had killed her after being discovered. A few weeks later, two men tried to commit a similar burglary in the area, bolstering their theory.
Police even had sketches drawn of those two men. They're now considered suspects in Sherry's murder. But there seems
right.
You ever have any nurse needs?
No, not really. Gabapentin is Neurontin, yo? Or is that the same as...
I'm sorry?
I always get gabapentin mixed up thinking that that's propanolol. But I don't know.
I have one left, so if there's somewhere that you think might have it, I would.
You only have one?
Yeah, only one.
Let's call on a prescription.
I'm gonna call Erin now.
Yeah, she should just, or bring some to you or whatever, but they can definitely call on a prescription. You know?
Yeah, I'm gonna call her. Can I have this Neurontin?
Yes, absolutely.
Let me know when it's cool to come home. I mean, when it's cool for me to come home.
When I'm gone, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll be leaving in like 15, 20 minutes.
Okay.
You don't have to leave on my account because I can get it out of here earlier.
Earlier? No, it's okay. I'll get some air. I'm gonna hang out with Io and get some air.
Okay, well, I'll be gone in half hour, no later.
Okay. I'm sorry that it.
Me too.
I'm sorry for you to come home like that. I'm sorry.
Hmm?
I'm sorry
For what?
that I asked you to come home and it didn't work. You know, I feel really sad that this is happening.
I do too. I do too. I don't. I didn't want it to turn into anything when I was trying to say that, just let me deal with it and you'll see that if it's a priority to me, I really didn't mean
I didn't get
anything
upset.
bad. I was trying to, it was almost like I was...
I didn't get upset. What upset me was the things you were saying and how you said that.
No,
And
you
the
gotta...
fact that it was such an issue for you.
You did get
That
upset.
I asked you that question, which seems like a fair question for someone to be able to ask. And I have to ask myself, do I want to live in a relationship where that question means what it did? It should be okay to ask that question of your spouse without judgment.
I would
which
say
is
no.
judgment. I got judgment.
I would
in
say-
nature for it. And I don't want to live in a relationship where I can't even ask a normal question. That's off limits.
Well, you're not in a normal relationship, so
Yes.
that's the problem.
Maybe. And maybe.
No, what I'm saying is, it's not a normal relationship. You are not a normal person. I'm not a normal person. We do not. It ordinarily it would be a totally sort of like nothing of a question, but because of what's underneath it, the subtext of it, it becomes a problem. And just like me saying, to you that look, man.
Calling someone, saying over and over,
What?
judging someone and hurling those judgments and criticisms at them.
What if a doctor tells you that? Are they judging you? I'm not judging you.
Context. You're not a doctor.
No, I'm your fucking partner. I'm your husband.
That's
I don't say that shit to hurt you. I mean, say it to fucking help you.
But did it look like it was helping? Did it help? And if anybody, I don't care if you're a school teacher, if you're a kid, if anyone says you're hurting me with what that you're doing, Your job is to stop doing that as a person, as a human being. I don't care who you are.
Well, then you really better take that one into your fucking life.
You're right.
That one.
This is my issue.
Because when
You're
I
right.
asked you to stop,
You're right.
you don't.
This is clearly, you're right. So then you had permission to do what you did. Therefore, you're not accountable.
I don't have permission to do anything like that. I don't know
Because
what.
I've done something before. Therefore, you're for your blame. See how you deflect responsibility?
No, that's the
were
pot
told-
calling the kettle black.
You were
man.
told. See, again, you're doing. You were told repeatedly. You're hurting me with them. That hurts. Please, it's not your place to help me in that way. And even if it were, if I did that to you,
It's not my place to help you in that way. It's not my place as your husband. So then it's not your
Was it
place.
helpful?
Then it's not
Was
your
it helpful?
place.
Did it help? Did it look like it was helping them? Did it help? Were you helping me?
Would you do you think a lie would work better?
Did it help me?
You prefer a lie?
Did it help me?
I
Did
don't
it look
know.
like it was helping the situation?
You don't have to ask me redundant questions. Thank you. I know the answer to that. And so do you. So let's not
I don't
waste
feel-
either one's
I don't feel
air.
like being in that and being called names anymore.
Okay,
and
good.
Talking to you.
Mm-hmm.
Called names or take criticisms or help from you in that way by throwing judgments
What
at me,
names?
hurling judgments at me.
What
If I have to
names were you
get that-
called?
If I have to get that every time I talk to you,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to talk to you anymore. You're losing me, Johnny.
Mm-hmm.
If it's not done already, you're losing me. Really losing me.
Mm-hmm.
You're killing my love for you. And I have to, at this point, with how much you hurt me, and I'm telling you you're hurting me, and you feel it necessary for you, because you're so right and clear in your judgments, and you're so helpful in your criticism, that you need to repeat it over and over again, knowing it's hurting someone.
I didn't use it as a weapon.
Replay it. Okay, then ask somebody. I hope you have all that on tape, because you should really play
I
that.
do have.
Please play it for someone and you ask them if that was a right thing to do.
I will.
But no, it doesn't matter anymore, because if you don't know that, if you don't know right from wrong, if you don't know that that was not okay, or that it just simply is a problem, that's when you feel like necessary to do it. It's why it's probably gone. Or it's
Well, if it's happening and it continues to happen, then you think it's probably gone. So
I'm just saying, you're losing me. And if
Well,
you
isn't-
continue to behave this way,
you lost me. I came back.
Well, I do.
You lost me
Then why are you here? Why did you come back?
because I love you.
That's not having.
And you
lost
can't just
someone.
arbitrarily
Okay, but
change
then
the
you're
rules
right,
to
you're right,
suit your mood, by the way.
Then I lost you. If you want to word it that way, okay, fine. Let's call it goodbye.
Are you kidding?
You did. I lost you. If that's what you want to call it, fine. Okay. I don't care who wins. I don't care.
Well, nobody
I don't-
wins.
I don't care who lost who. I don't. You can be right. You can be the one that like I lost. Okay, that's fine with me. That's fine. All right.
Okay.
I would love if you would just give me this space for a few days and
We got it.
I'll figure out my. It will take me a while. Ruck and Josh are looking for a place, and I might go in with them on something,
Mm-hmm.
But that might take a minute, and if it's okay.
Okay.
Let's separate and. What's that? Okay.
Let's do what? Separate and... I can't hear you. Please. Separate and...
I don't know. Stop jumping, please.
I'm just asking the question. What was the other word? I want to know what I'm agreeing to.
Okay, I don't know. Oh, no, I don't know. I just... It's not important.
It's not important.
I don't know what I said.
Okay.
I think I was
Okay.
scrambling for words,
Okay. too. I'll give you your space.
We don't have to do anything officially, or we can. I don't really care. Whatever you need, whatever you need. And I'm sorry if this comes at this time with your mom. I really, truly don't know if it's about that, and if you need something else from me, if that's what really why it's been so terrible, why you've been so rough with me, critical of me, so critical of me, and judgmental of me. I don't know if it's about your mom taking it out on me. I don't know. If it is that, wish you would tell me in some way, so I knew to just pace, But if it really isn't about your mom at all.
I'm sorry that you're miserable, and I'm sorry that I make you miserable. I really am.
Me too.
I really am.
I never expected this from you. I feel really shocked that it's become this. Why you feel so terrible talking to you, why you are so mean to me and critical and judgmental and hateful of me. I have made you hate me clearly, and I don't know why you torture both of us by perpetuating it. If you have such hatred for me or what, I don't know if I'm your scapegoat, if it's your mom, I really don't know. I want to be here for you, but you're torturing me. And I should be okay to ask you if you're coming to the thing, or if you're coming. It's really not an offense. It's not. And it doesn't deserve this. And I know better than that. I know better than that. I know that what I was sold in you was not that man. It's abusive, it's mean. Sit here and hurl insults or judgments at me, repeal, I'm telling you it's hurting me, and it doesn't matter to you. It's out of context. You're not my therapist, you're not a doctor. You're not even normal. You're a legit crazy person, self-admitted, and you're going to call me names or say I have issues? Why?
Because I'd like them to go away so they don't hurt us.
What good is it going to do to call someone?
I didn't call you a name.
How are you to judge me? Who are you to judge me, especially when you hate judgment so much yourself?
It's not a judgment, by the way.
It is a judgment.
No, it is not a judgment. It's an observation of something that I've lived with for 4 years.
Okay.
It's an observation, man.
You're right. And you have every right to bring it up at that time the way you did. You were great, and you did everything right.
I would like for you to not have that control issue so heavily and used against me. I would really appreciate it.
It's me that has a problem then, because what you did is totally, totally fine for you. I'm the one who has a problem with what just went on. I'm the one that's hurt. I'm the one that has a problem with it. It is my fault and my problem. You're right, okay? All right? You win. You're right. You're right. I'm the one who feels uncomfortable when I tell someone over and over again that what they're doing is not helpful, not constructive, not appropriate, and not necessarily even fair, nor is it helping. And it is, in fact, hurting me. And I tell you repeatedly, and you feel like you're in a place to do that and judge me and ignore every time I tell you it hurts me?
I'm not judging.
Then you think I'm the one? That's a problem? Okay, yeah, you're right. It is my problem. It's my problem. I guess I don't like that sort of judgment like that.
Nobody does, I guess, yeah. If you think that that's judgment.
You're right. You wouldn't have thought it was judgment. I'm sure you would have been immune to it.
Well, you can freely, sort of prescribe your names upon me anytime you want, and all my weaknesses and all my
I didn't. That's what's ironic.
shortcomings and all my
You
this.
did to me.
Okay, good.
That's what's ironic.
Okay.
A shortcoming. That's you giving that to me. That's what you did. Not the other way around.
We didn't just meet today, Amber. Come on.
I guess I'm just talking about today, excuse me.
Okay, let's cut this short so we don't just continue and hurt each other or whatever, please.
I'm not actually. participating in the way you are. I'm sorry. But it would feel terrible to you if I sat here and tried to help you by telling you what I saw was wrong with you.
Please,
I wouldn't.
we've been through that a whole lot. I've listened to a lot of your.
Not today, yet.
Not this morning, not this afternoon, no.
Okay.
No. But I've certainly accumulated a lot.
Right. So
Yeah.
there you're justified in doing what you did. For sure.
Well,
I'm only talking about today, because I can only mean what I say when I say I'm going to try and change X, Y, and Z thing, or I'm going to work on blah, 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 and I can only do those things. And since I have been doing those things,
what things have you been doing?
working on those things and not doing certain things and trying to change certain things.
Mm-hmm.
Hence, the last several times we've discussed it.
Hence, screaming when I spilt wine accidentally on you for falling asleep, and screaming in front of my kids and freaking Jack out. And that's trying.
I would appreciate. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Johnny.
That fucked him up, you know.
I'm sorry I fucked your son up.
No, it weirded him out. It never.
I'm so sorry I fucked your kids up.
You didn't fuck my kids up, but
I'm
it
so
was pretty
sorry.
fucking. It was pretty fucking weird for him, you know.
Because I jumped up and screamed because I had one. Wow, it's amazing.
Yeah.
You're right. I'm surprised he's send me the bill for the counseling. I'm sure that's terrifying.
I don't need your
No, you're right. Your poor kid.
your clever
Use them against me again.
comebacks.
It's so
No, you think you're
weak.
controlling yourself.
Your character.
You think you're controlling
your
yourself.
character has become so clear, especially when you use them. It's embarrassing for you. I'm gonna walk away now because you're actually making me see you even worse. And believing me, I'm not gonna be calling you at 3 o'clock in the morning after I've had an Ambien and think I'm gonna just fucking forgive and move on. Trust me, it is gross how you're using your kids. I've done nothing but be there for them in a good way. And if you take that for granted, fine. You're right. Meet a woman who would not jump up and scream if she'd been spilled on 3 times in a row. And I hope you're happy with whoever that is, because that would be a special kind of fucking person, no doubt. Sorry, it had to end this way. Really, it's not worth it for me. I'm sorry, you're not worth it. I don't think I can love you anymore.
Okay.
Please let me know when you're out. Going through something right now? Is that it? Just tell me, is it about your mom? Is this something I'm missing that I should know?
No. I don't know what it's about. I don't know.
It's not that. It's not something I'm missing. Like, I should be more understanding as a human, I mean, as a wife. That you're going through that? Are you going through something right now? Is that it? Or is that not at all it? Because I don't know if I'm being shitty and not being, and just taking it. Do you know what I mean?
Of course, I'm going through a lot with my mom. And of course, I'm feeling a lot of things regarding my mom's health and the family situation and all that. Of course, feeling all this stuff, and I'm going through stuff with it, and I don't voice it a lot. But of course I am. But
Okay.
I'm
trying to be more understanding. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. I'm sorry, I don't...
It is coming out in weird ways, you know? It's hard to tell.
I'm not using that as my excuse for what we spoke about earlier. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that is all flowing through my veins every day.
Okay.
At every moment. So, if it affects the way that I'm dealing with you and it's uncomfortable, you know, I'm sorry.
I just need to know that that's a factor at all, if it is, because to be more understanding of some shit that would otherwise be, you know, unacceptable or whatever. I'm going to try. You can, of course, do what you want. But I will feel really guilty if I'm not there for you when you need me and you just don't know how to say that is a part of this.